Now we're here to discuss the second topic of discussion as a follow-up to our first one on how to lease your home the right way. Now in the first video, we talked about how to prepare your home the right way for the rental market. Now if you missed that video, be sure to click on it if you're watching it on YouTube here on the screen, or if you're viewing it through Facebook, we've included the link to it below in the comments. So now that your property is prepped, it's ready to go, it's ready for a tenant, what do you do next? Well, the property will now need to be placed in front of prospective tenants, otherwise known as advertising. The goal is to make your property stand out from the vast amount of rental properties that are currently available on the rental market and find a well-qualified tenant. So how do you do that? Well, if you took the steps to make your property show well, now you need to convey that over via the various platforms that are available for marketing your rental property, most of them, of course, being online. Now, people these days go through Craigslist, Zillow, RentHub, Trulia, and others. And really, they all have a vast audience. Now, on most of these platforms, you typically have to supply a certain amount of information about your property. The basics, such as how many bedrooms does it have, bathrooms, what kind of a heating or cooling system does it have. Really the foundation of your property and what it contains. Then there's the descriptive portion that you typically input. Now, this portion allows you to describe your property, to really showcase it. It's usually one of the first things that someone will look at when accessing your listing. Now, sadly, many listings lack in this area. The descriptions are short and they're vague. They don't convey a lot of enthusiasm for the property. The description is there for the purpose of showing what your property has and why someone would want to go look at your home compared to the hundreds out there. Large corporations spend millions, if not billions of dollars each year on marketing and advertising a product or service that they want to sell. They use emotionally charged commercials, the specific descriptions of their product, unique video and photo shots to really make the item or service appeal to you and me. They hope to develop some connection within us for us to see the need to acquire it, to acquire the product that they're trying to promote. It's by no means a haphazard approach. Now, why do they do that? Because they know that it works. They know that the right approach, the right words, the right angle can affect someone to a level of purchasing a product. The same is true in real estate with a rental property. The right description can make an impression. So what can you do to showcase your home? Well, start by grabbing a pen and paper and walking around your house. What kind of countertops do you have in your kitchen? Are they granite, marble, or some other unique or upgraded type? What kind of cabinets do you have? Are they oak, maple, or maybe some type of stained cabinet? Do you have tiles, upgraded carpeting, or maybe vaulted ceilings? How about upgraded blinds? Maybe some fallwood blinds, or real wood blinds, or plantation shutters? Did you upgrade your lighting or plumbing fixtures? Do you have a balcony, or covered patio, a pool, low maintenance landscaping, or mature landscaping? Are you including landscape or pool service in the rental of the property? The list can be extensive. And even if it seems to you that you don't have any upgrades or really haven't done too much with the property, is the property clean? Does it have freshly shampooed carpets? Or maybe it's been freshly painted? Use those items to make your property stand out. And in describing your property, use selective descriptions to draw attention. For example, words such as spacious, modern, elegant, cozy can enhance your property's features when done correctly. And be sure that whatever you describe, whatever choice of words that you decide on employing in your listing, that they convey accurate and realistic information as well. Your description should be reflected in the photos that you take of your property. Photographs are so important since they add that nice visual effect for your listing. Yet, so many properties don't have any, and this affects their activity and interest. Be sure to take a number of photos to really showcase your property. Include the front of the house, the kitchen, the bathrooms, the bedrooms, the backyard, any unique features about your property. And make sure that the photos you take aren't blurry or they're crooked in some way. Try to make the photos appear as symmetrical as possible, as clean as possible, so that it's eye-catching. Now, if your community has some type of common features, such as a park or pool, or maybe it's a gated community, be sure to include photos of those areas to build value for your property. Now, earlier we mentioned a few different sites that would be available to you to list your rental property in. And really, the choice is yours, and there's plenty of different options. Now, as a company, amongst others, we use Zillow and Trulia. Now, the reason being is the popularity of these sites and also the substantial use by potential tenants. We also advertise in the multiple listing service to get exposure to realtors who are working with potential tenants. And that is really where the majority of our tenants come from. However, a public platform such as Zillow would be available to you. So, how do you determine the rental rate? That's usually the million-dollar question, and opinions vary. Now, some homeowners want to cover their mortgage payment, and they use that as a basis for their asking rent. Others do a quick search on perhaps Realtor.com to see what's available in their neighborhood and what may be currently up for rent, and use those figures as their basis. Others may use a site where they can simply plug in their address and get a recommended rental rate based on some data and a logarithm that's used. Not surprisingly, the results or opinions of those three searches will typically yield different results, some quite considerably different. So what's the answer? What's the key to getting a competitive rental rate for your property while at the same time doing so within a reasonable amount of time? Price point is typically determined by what someone is willing to pay, what people can afford, and what the past has shown to be the true value. It's true in general sales. Take, for example, a product at a store that's listed for sale that's not selling. No one's buying it. What usually happens? Well, we usually start seeing a reduction in the price of that product. Maybe once, twice, or more times the price has to be reduced. Now, once the product starts selling on a regular basis, what does that indicate to the store? Well, two things. The product is now priced at what people are willing to pay for it. And two, does the store want to continue to carry the product at the reduced profit margin? Now, with rental properties, it works the same way. If you list a property at a rate that's more than what prospective tenants are willing to pay, your activity off of your marketing efforts will most likely be slim. So, to determine what a property is worth, looking at other comparable properties in the neighborhood or within a short distance that have successfully leased is necessary. There's really no other options available. For example, if, say, 3 homes similar to yours in size, bedrooms, garage capacity, and features rented, say, between $1,500 to $1,700 per month in the last 6 months, that provides you with some solid figures to work off of. Then, of course, you would have to see what type of a lease term was achieved for those rentals. Was it month to month, 6 months, or 1 year? Rental rates can vary depending on the lease term. This allows you at least to have a starting point, to know what prospective tenants who are willing to live close by were willing to pay, and what the market may look like. Now, of course, seasonal and economic changes can affect the rental rates as well. Now, once you locate someone interested, someone who has responded to your advertising, who's viewed your home, and is now ready to call your property their home, what do you do next? Well, most property owners want to employ a screening process. So stay tuned next week as we discuss the details of that step in our series on renting your property the right way. Now, we hope that this information has proved to be informative and useful. If you enjoyed the material, give us a like. And if you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more how-to videos. Thanks for watching.